At the Cariocas Mansion, when Chad and Sunny can't see eye to eye on how to run the mirror business dealings, Vic yells Chad thinks they should defer to Victor, just as he walks in. They explain their differences, that Chad wants to buy the new shipping company and how Sunny doesn't like that Chad's making it personal. Sunny thinks they'll take a loss because Chad's taking a risk. Chad says the company needs stability. Sunny's settlement looks like an admission of guilt. Plus, Leo disappeared. Sunny says that alone makes Leo look guilty. Both Victor and Chad ask what happens if he returns and Sunny bites that it's not going to happen. Vic questions how he knows. Sunny backtracks. Vic snaps that Chad will stay on as CEO for the foreseeable future, but if he sees Chad acting like his lunatic father or brother, he'll be out on his ass. Chad stammers, unsure of what to say. The younger men wander to the foyer and try to make amends. Meanwhile, Vic takes a call and says, Jennifer Horton JJ and Gaby at Doug's place is on to Murphy? He'll take care of it. At Doug's place, Gaby snickers about using Stefan and telling him about Abigail's pregnancy. She snipes about Abby and Stefan sending her to prison and getting beat up so badly that now she'll never have kids. She tells God that she knows this is wrong but JJ approaches. She tells him the news about it being unlikely that she'll bear more kids. JJ's sorry. Both she and Abigail have gone through so much. JJ tells her about somebody planting drugs in his place and that he could lose his job because of it. Gaby shocked and questions who? He has no clue. They chat and eventually, Gaby leaves and burns the DNA documents outside. Stefan rushes into the abortion clinic and finds Abigail. She frowns and asks why he's there. He is stopping her from aborting his child. He shows her the DNA papers from Gaby then starts haranguing her for doing this without consulting him. She flashes back to that night he raped her. She tells him, this baby was not conceived in love. He raped her. She wishes she didn't remember it. Stefan whines that since Abigail has been gone, a part of him is gone. He begs her not to take this baby from him. Abigail again cries out that he raped her. He denies it being rape. It was to me, she yells. He makes a valiant attempt to get her to change her mind, then reminds her that she thought Thomas was Ben's. Abby yells that she didn't know who Ben was until after. Stefan keeps reminding her of all that they've shared. In the end, he concedes that this is her body, her choice, but what will she do? The Child Protective Services worker meets Jennifer at the pub. She snipes that she knows he accepted a payoff to plant drugs at JJ's apartment. He denies it vehemently but Jen has done her homework and has learned that he's done some seedy things in the past. She threatens the police and the man caves. She inquires who hired him but he doesn't have the man's name. Jen asks him to go to his supervisor to tell him the truth. If he doesn't, she'll use it as a public scandal at her newspaper. Later, once the man has left, JJ turns up. Jen explains everything that went down. He's in awe. Paul visits Will at Martin House to share news that Leo didn't turn up for Sunny's court case and so the case was thrown out. Will's glad to hear it but Paul can't help but wonder if somebody made Leo disappear purposefully. Maybe Sunny. Will panics and Paul explains, he is a Cariocas. Maybe he paid Leo off privately to avoid court. Will denies Sunny would do that. He's a good man. Paul agrees. Will fills Paul in on remembering Kate. Paul's glad to hear. Will is starting to feel as though he has a history. He professes his love for Paul and they kiss. They plan meeting for dinner and once Paul's gone, Will takes another gander at the threatening note he received. He calls Sunny. At home, Stefan has a drink and sits in the dark flashing back to his conversation with Abigail telling him she's going to keep her baby. Abby arrives home to Chad and starts to tell him about the baby.